Keep in mind, there are sections that are still redacted because one of the victims may have been as young as 13 at the time of the alleged crimes. Now, some of these big names include, in the new documents, include former presidents Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, magician David Copperfield, and England's Prince Andrew. Now, even though we have video of former President Trump partying with Epstein seen here, keep in mind, none of these high-profile people named in the newly released documents face any charges of wrongdoing.
And the internet lost its mind. Michael Jackson was with Epstein? Headlines everywhere. Social media exploded. Everyone's got an opinion. But here's what nobody's talking about.
I would imagine you believe that children are being abused by in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Who you said, by the way, did not abuse
Who
you.
Michael was innocent, and that was what the interview was about with the police in 1993. I told them he is not that guy, and they said, well, maybe you just don't understand your friend. And I said, no, I know the difference between pedophiles and somebody who's not a pedophile because I've been molested. Here's the names. Go investigate. And let me push this forward. There are thousands of people in Hollywood who have this same information. Why is it all on me? Why is it if I don't release the names in the next 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I'm the bad guy? I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and do something about it.
But
Hold on, please, I'm sorry. There are thousands of people out there, Matt, who have this information. Any one of those child actors that went to the teenage soda pop clubs with me when I was a kid know who those people are and the people who ran it. Anybody can go back through history and look at the teen magazines and say, what was the name of that venue they were all promoting and who ran that venue and who endorsed it?
Because there's another story. A story that's been buried for decades. A story about a man who tried to protect children from the real predators in Hollywood. And those same predators destroyed him for it.
You see, while Michael Jackson's name is being dragged through the mud again, there's a Hollywood pedophile ring that's still operating, still protected, still hidden. And the man who tried to expose it was Corey Feldman, one of the biggest child stars of the 80s, known for The Goonies, Stand By Me, and The Lost Boys.
Saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are
And they do
predators?
not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
And that they're still in this business?
Yes.
That's what, yeah, and that's what you were saying in your book. When you talk to, when you talk to
And they don't want
parents,
me here right now. Trust
Corey,
me. They want me dead.
there are a lot of parents out here who want to put their kids in this business. Their kids are cute, they're great actors. Da, da, da. What would you say to a parent who just has the best of intentions, who's coming here with their child? If you're saying that there's a lot of predators in this industry.
It's a many-feathered bird, okay? Be careful what you wish for. That's what I'll tell you. You know, don't go into it with naivety. Don't go into it thinking that it's all roses and
You're
sunglasses.
damaging an entire industry.
I'm sorry,
wanna
I'm
clear
not
up.
trying
You said
to.
that-
I'm just trying to say that it's a very important, serious topic.
You said that there was one gentleman in the industry who did not take advantage of you. He was not a pedophile. You said it was Michael Jackson.
Of all people.
He says he was abused by that ring, and that Michael Jackson wasn't part of it. In fact, Feldman described being around Jackson as the one place in Hollywood where he felt safe. According to this view, the real story isn't about Epstein files, but about blaming the wrong person while protecting the real offenders.
And look, I know this is going to make some people mad. I know some of you came here thinking I'm going to defend a guilty man. But stick with me, because what I'm about to show you is going to change everything you thought you knew.
Before we talk about Michael Jackson, you need to understand who Corey Feldman is. In the 1980s, he was everywhere starring in The Goonies, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, Gremlins, and Friday the 13th. He was one of the most famous child actors in Hollywood, living the dream, or so it seemed. Behind the scenes, Feldman has said he experienced abuse within the industry. In a 2017 interview, he stated that the #1 problem in Hollywood was, and still is, misconduct involving children.
Saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
He also said his close friend, Corey Haim, another major child star, was abused at a young age on a movie set. Feldman claimed they both knew the people who hurt them and described being groomed and exploited by powerful figures in the industry. Then, in 1993, when the first allegations against Michael Jackson surfaced, Feldman says he went to the police.
Gonna send Michael Jackson to jail.
Secret police tapes. Child star Corey Feldman grilled by cops. Cops who seemed determined to get Feldman to say he was molested by Michael Jackson.
Believe me when I tell you that if there was something that I've been hiding for all these years, then I would want nothing more than to bring it out right now.
Arrested him, and they didn't seem to care.
For doing these things, he certainly would never let some outside person like that see him.
Child star Corey Feldman and the secret police tapes obtained exclusively by CJ. Hello, everyone. I'm Holly Herbert. The 80s star and the cops who've seen this strongly believe he was a victim of Michael Jackson. James Les Mitchell has the never-before-heard tape that could rock Jackson's molestation trial.
Nothing ever happened with Michael.
You are listening to an interview between actor Corey Feldman and Santa Barbara Sheriff, obtained exclusively by Celebrity Justice, recorded in December 1993. In it, Corey states not once, but numerous times, his friend Michael Jackson, who he hung out with, didn't do anything improper with him.
If there was something that I've been hiding for all these years, then I would want nothing more than to bring it out right now to make sure that Michael got the help that he needed.
Our last weekend together, Feldman gained fame as a child star in the 80s with The Goonies and Stand By Me. He was just wrapping up National Lampoon's Last Resort at the age of 22 when he was grilled by Sergeant Deborah Linden and a detective looking to bolster their molestation case against Jackson involving another boy. On the tape, they hammer in on Corey's deep friendship with the superstar.
What concerns me about it is that if there is something, if something did happen that you're not telling us, is that you wouldn't because of that.
No, I can't put myself in the position of thinking the person who molested me if this was him. You know?
He says he didn't go to accuse Michael Jackson. He went to name the alleged real abusers. According to Feldman, police weren't interested in that and only wanted information about Jackson, which he believes says a lot about their priorities at the time. As for Jackson, Feldman described him as a safe space. He said being around him felt innocent and protective, calling it his happy place during a dark period in Hollywood.
Got Michael Jackson as a close friend, and I play Michael Jackson my song What's Up With the Youth, and he says, Corey, that's a #1 song. That song literally can go to #1, and if you let me, I will walk it into Tommy Mottola at CBS Records right now, and I will make that song #1. And I was like, thank you, Michael, I really appreciate that. But no, I'm good.
Why? Why no?
Well, because one, I was a real friend to him, and I didn't want him to think that I was just another leech sucking off of his teat to try to get something. You know, that wasn't my intention. My intention was to play him a song and see if he liked it and what he thought. And to hear Michael Jackson tell you that the song's a hit and could be #1, what else do you need?
Well, did he want to sing it?
No, he wanted to help me go to that place.
Do you regret that you didn't let him do that?
Sure, there's parts of me that go, damn it, it could have been so much easier.
Feldman said that while he was being abused by others in Hollywood, Michael Jackson's world felt like a safe place, free from drugs, alcohol, and the pressures he faced elsewhere. He believed Jackson understood what it was like to lose a childhood in the spotlight and created Neverland Ranch as a space where kids could escape industry stress. Macaulay Culkin has also publicly said he never experienced or witnessed any misconduct during his time there.
We have to cover it, so let's ask about it. What's the relationship that you had with Michael Jackson?
Had or have? I mean, it's
had both.
You know, whatever.
Let's go with had.
Listen, no, he's a good friend of mine, and he still is. I mean, everything that's going on, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation for everyone involved, and you know.
How did you first get to meet him?
I first met him. He kind of called me randomly, like out of the blue. You're just kind of like, hi. It's Michael. And it's like, hey. And the thing is,
this was after Home Alone?
This is after Home Alone. I actually had met him before I was doing Nutcracker at Lincoln Center. I was playing Fritz, and he came backstage one day, and I actually met him very briefly. And he kind of recognized me because it was after I'd done Uncle Buck, and so he kind of mentioned something. And then he calls me up kind of out of the blue, and it's kind of just this weird random thing. And he was like, why don't you come over to my house? And the thing is, I didn't react to him the way most people did. Most people are like, Michael Jackson. And, you know, I mean, he was a god to people. And to me, he was, you know, I knew he was a pop singer, but beyond that, you know, I wasn't one of the fans. I think that's one of the reasons why we connected, was the fact that, you know, I believe me, I call him a jerk all the time. I call him a fathead and a this and a that, you know, and
your
he
brother
gets
knew him too?
Yeah, no, we all did. I mean, he was, you know, a family friend.
What
basically.
happened at the house? That's what all these things that people
you know,
are
that's
concerned
what's so
about.
weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We you know, played it at his amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories, and it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been, because he's not a very social person. I mean, you're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also for the last like 30 years, or you know, and so he's not very good at communicating to people and not very good at conveying what he's actually trying to say to you. And so when he says something like that, you know, people, you know, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do.
Wade Robson, who later accused Jackson in the Leaving Neverland documentary, testified under oath in 2005 that Jackson never touched him. He defended Jackson for 20+ years.
You're telling us nothing happened, is that right?
Yes.
All right, what you're really telling us is nothing happened while you were awake. Isn't that true?
I'm telling you that nothing ever happened.
Mr. Robson, when you were asleep, you wouldn't have known what had happened, particularly at age 7, would you have?
I would think something like that would wake me up.
Okay. Okay, compose yourself. The prosecution's theory is that this witness that they didn't call, but who they say was molested, didn't remember because he was asleep when it happened. Is that right?
The prosecution's theory is if they're called by the Jackson camp, they must be lying. Gee, doesn't that sound familiar? First of all, I remember Wade Robson. I talked to Wade Robson. Okay. I remember this kid very well, and some of the other witnesses will see. And he was as strong as he could be 12 years ago as he is now, with respect to what happened.
And this is the witness who the maid said she saw with Michael Jackson in the shower. Is that correct?
Yes.
So he flatly contradicts that. He appears to be very credible. He says, no, that didn't happen. And this maid, of course, received money from Michael Jackson and therefore has a motive to lie.
And let's remember that testimony, she doesn't say she specifically sees him. Remember, it was foggy in the shower.
Yes.
She may have saw 2 people, wasn't quite sure, testified she couldn't tell, and now...
Wade Robson, who later accused Jackson in Leaving Neverland, had previously testified under oath in 2005 that Jackson never touched him. He publicly defended Jackson for more than 20 years before later changing his account.
Child molestation charges are about to be officially filed. I talked with teen pop star Aaron Carter, who has witnessed Michael's private behavior. One of Jackson's celebrity friends is pop singer Aaron Carter. For a while, Carter lived nearby the Neverland Ranch. He gave me his first-hand account into the King of Pop's love life.
What are your thoughts on everything Michael's been going through and all the accusations now against him?
I think it's stupid, because I know for a fact he likes girls. Trust me.
Okay, how do you know for a fact that he likes girls?
Because I've seen him with girls. I've seen him walk up to a girl, you know, and get her number, you know, and call her up and talk to her and say, hey, baby, what are you doing?
You ever seen him kiss a girl, hold hands with a girl?
Yeah, I've seen him kiss a girl before. Oh, yeah, I've seen him totally make out with a girl before.
Where was that? Was that at his ranch, or?
That was at his ranch, yeah.
Do you know who the girl was?
Just like a fan or something.
You hung out with him when you were how old the first time?
I was 14.
Were there children there when you were visiting?
There were about 5 or 6 kids there.
And you never saw anything inappropriate?
No, I never saw it.
Before his death, Aaron Carter also spoke positively about Michael Jackson, describing him as kind and saying he did not believe the allegations against him.
Just when you thought you knew everything there was to know about the often bizarre life of Michael Jackson, more information is revealed. The FBI has released more than 300 pages of formerly classified documents relating to the late King of Pop, including details regarding his child molestation cases. It's also come out a man allegedly obsessed with Jacko's sister Janet threatened to kill the star and thousands of his fans if he wasn't given half of the singer's fortune. In one letter dated in July 1992, the man states he will personally attempt to kill if he isn't paid his money.
Zero evidence. No photos, no videos, no witnesses. The FBI, who monitored Jackson from 1993 to 2005, concluded not one scrap of evidence.
Why would the FBI have a 300-page file on Jackson? Turns out many celebrities routinely end up finding themselves under FBI scrutiny. There are FBI files on Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Martin Luther King, even former Supreme Court Justice William Rehnquist. Many involve threats. The new FBI files detail how Michael Jackson received from a man obsessed with his famous sister, Janet. In a series of bizarre letters, which included threats against President George Herbert Walker Bush, Frank Paul Jones writes he'd commit mass murder at a Michael Jackson concert, if necessary, in an attempt to murder Michael. Jones was eventually arrested outside the home of Jackson's parents.
Some believe that if Michael Jackson was seen as a safe figure for child performers, that visibility also made him a target. In 1993, at the height of his Dangerous World Tour, allegations surfaced involving 13-year-old Jordan Chandler. Jackson denied the claims. Reports at the time said there were financial demands made before the case went public, and the situation later led to a civil settlement. Authorities investigated, including searching Neverland Ranch and interviewing numerous witnesses, but no criminal conviction resulted from that case.
Once in his life, Michael Jackson was not the center of attention, even though this has been a crucial day in his trial. The focus instead was on the defense's first celebrity witness, the actor Macaulay Culkin. The prosecution had suggested that in the early 1990s, he was one of a number of young boys who had been sexually abused by Jackson.
Macaulay Culkin almost single-handedly devastated and shook the foundation of the prosecution's pattern evidence against Michael Jackson.
Certainly, if the jury believes Culkin, it will be a significant boost for the defense and would undermine two prosecution witnesses who have already testified they saw Jackson inappropriately touching the actor.
Wade Robson testifies, "He never touched me. The allegations are ridiculous."
You're telling us nothing happened, is that right?
Yes.
All right, what you're really telling us is nothing happened while you were awake. Isn't that true?
I'm telling you that nothing ever happened.
Mr. Robson, when you were asleep, you wouldn't have known what had happened, particularly at age 7, would you have?
I would think something like that would wake me up.
There was no concrete evidence, no photos, videos, or credible witnesses. Even the FBI, which monitored Jackson from 1993 to 2005, reported finding not a single scrap of evidence.
Michael, can you say why you decided not to testify?
No comments.
Sorry.
No comments. No comments.
Michael, glad to see you, old friends.
No comments.
Why won't you testify, Michael?
No comments.
In 1993, when Corey Feldman tried to give police the names of actual Hollywood abusers, they ignored him and focused only on Michael Jackson. Despite evidence and other potential witnesses, the investigation targeted Jackson alone. When no criminal evidence emerged, Jackson settled the civil case for $23 million, not an admission of guilt, but to avoid a career-destroying trial. Jordan Chandler didn't testify, and the case closed, leaving Jackson's reputation damaged while alleged real predators remained protected. Fast forward to 2003, Jackson faced another accusation from 13-year-old Gavin Arzo. The 2005 trial became one of the biggest celebrity trials ever. Jackson fought the case, and while the prosecution painted him as a serial predator, the defense called witnesses like Macaulay Culkin, who testified he slept at Jackson's home dozens of times and nothing inappropriate ever happened.
In their words, let a pedophile go free. Hear now the pressure you never saw behind closed doors. Was the jury one big happy family when you went into the deliberation room?
I think prior to deliberations, I think that there was some camaraderie. It wasn't really until we got into the deliberation room and found out what was in people's minds that we realized that we're not all in the same key here.
So it really surprised me when everybody seemed to turn and get so mean. You go back into the jury room, start deliberating. After a few hours, you have sort of an unofficial vote. What were the results?
About 2/3 of the jury were considering Michael Jackson as not guilty at that time.
And where were you?
I was on the guilty side.
No, you were the first one to say guilty. Guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
She said it in a big way.
I said
right away.
I said it in a big way, and they came after me with a vengeance. I really got attacked.
How so?
I didn't understand. I didn't know. I was too old.
And there was a third juror, Katerina Carls, a 39-year-old county government worker who tells us that she too initially believed Jackson was guilty.
Very bright.
She was very bright. She had taken a lot of notes. She knew exactly what was going on. And it amazed me when one of the other jurors challenged this particular juror that she may not really know too much about the American justice system because she had only been a citizen for 2 years.
How tough did it get for the two of you and this other juror? There you are, 3 of you holding out, and the other 9 are livid.
You wind up thinking, okay, if I stay with my convictions that I believe that Michael Jackson is a child molester and that he did in fact molest this accuser, then what's the next thing that could happen?
Wade Robson testified under oath, saying, "He never touched me. The allegations are ridiculous."
Photos of several high-profile men, including former President Bill Clinton and pop icon Michael Jackson, have been made public as part of the massive trove of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents released by the Department of Justice. Newly released photos of Clinton show the former president swimming with another woman and Maxwell. In another picture, Clinton can be seen holding a drink and standing next to Epstein. It's unclear where or when these photographs were taken, but they show further evidence of the closeness of the two men. Clinton has steadfastly denied any wrongdoing. A statement from Clinton's spokesperson said that the former president did not know about Epstein's crimes and had cut off the relationship before those crimes came to light. The statement also accused the Trump administration of, quote, shielding themselves from what comes next.
Chris Tucker testified, saying he had warned Michael Jackson about the Arzo family, describing them as con artists trying to take advantage of him.
It's tragic and it's sad because at my age, I should not have so much loss of life. But yet, I feel like I'm a 75-year-old man because literally 70% of my friends are gone. 70% of them are gone. You know, that's insane.
It was a very rigorous emotional time. And also, you know, we were young people and teens at a time when drugs looked very different.
And it wasn't because they died because they were random knuckleheads who just did a lot of drugs. Mm-hmm. These kids were badly abused. Mm-hmm. Let's call it what it is. Mm-hmm. They were badly abused. I was badly abused. And that's why we did drugs. We did drugs because generally the abusers were the ones giving us the drugs. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had them in the first place.
Right.
It's nice to talk to somebody that was there.
Sure.
Because it's hard. It's hard to live life with everybody going, I don't know what he's talking about. Is he even telling the truth?
Right.
They're not talking about Barbara Walters telling Feldman he was damaging an entire industry when he spoke up.
Saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there. And
there was one gentleman in the industry who did not take advantage of you. He was not a pedophile. You said it was Michael Jackson.
Of all people.
They're not talking about the Hollywood elites who are still protected. Michael Jackson died in 2009. He can't defend himself anymore, but we can.
I do as many hospitals as I do concerts. I do as many orphanages as I do concerts. But because it's good news, the press don't cover it. They want bad news. But I do it from my heart. I don't do it to wave a flag and say, look at me. We bring bags of toys and posters and albums, and you should see how it transforms these kids. They jump up and down, and they're so happy. This is Lisa Marie and myself at a hospital in Budapest. And I saw this little kid. His name was Farkas. He was very sick. He was green in the face, but he had this glow and this sparkle in his eye. I asked this nurse, what's wrong with this kid? She said that he needs a liver. So I said, does that mean he's gonna die? She said, yes, he's gonna die unless he gets a liver. I said, I'm not gonna let him die, this sweet, sweet angel. No matter what it takes, I'm gonna find a liver for him. So I sent my organization around the world. We went all over the place, and it took a long time. And I said, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to have this child die.
The jury also learned about the Arzo family's history. Gavin's mother, Janet Arzo, had previously settled a false assault claim for $150,000 and gave inconsistent, combative testimony. Gavin's timeline didn't add up, claiming abuse, while Jackson was constantly under public scrutiny. After 32 hours of deliberation, on June 13, 2005, Jackson was found not guilty on all 14 counts.
Look, I know this is a tough topic. I know some of you still have doubts, and that's okay. You should question things. You should look at the evidence yourself.
And turned up at the office, and he was so generous with his time. He had a tour of the office, he met everyone, he signed albums, he chatted. He was just such a warm and happy man to be here. You know, he loves Guinness World Records. To meet us, I think, was as thrilling for him as it was for us to meet him. The office has been very busy today.
Wow.
Sorry, this is for you.
Thank you so much.
This is the best for you. This is everyone saying hello.
Thank you. This means the world to me, really does. Thank you so much.
And also
I'm a big fan, really.
Looking at Guinness World Records was being asked by Michael Jackson to present his award for Thriller at the World Music Awards.
The jury foreman said, "We expected better evidence. It just wasn't there." Another juror added that the prosecution was weak and Michael Jackson was fully vindicated. Yet the media continued calling him Wacko Jacko, spreading jokes and false narratives while ignoring the truth. Now, in 2024 to 2026, the Epstein files surface, sparking media frenzy. Jackson's name appears alongside photos with Bill Clinton and Diana Ross, reigniting controversy despite his prior exoneration. Michael Jackson visited Epstein's Palm Beach mansion once in 2000 for financial advice during a Sony legal battle. Journalist Roger Friedman reported they didn't interact, and the Black Book entry linked to a disbarred advisor, not Jackson himself. Johanna Syoberg, an Epstein victim, testified under oath that she never had any sexual contact with Jackson. The FBI found nothing, and Jackson was acquitted 14 times. Corey Feldman, who was abused by Hollywood predators, said Jackson was a safe place. When Feldman tried to give police the names of his abusers in 1993, they only wanted information on Jackson. Jackson didn't hurt children. He protected them, but Hollywood and the media destroyed his reputation. Even now, media focus on Jackson distracts from the real predators Feldman tried to expose.